So this is a long overdue Patreon request for a friend of mine, very close friend of mine, probably best friend, Mount Vernon Kid, yeah, who also has a Patreon, so you guys should check that out too. So, yeah, he asked me to do a video or basically a version of a video he's done not too long ago on his YouTube channel called Top 30 Redheads. So that's what his request was doing a Top 30 Redheads list. The problem is when you have a Top 30 list, it's kind of hard to pick the characters and not only put them in a place, not only find 30 redheads in fiction, but also find, like, put them in the right spot. Like, this list changed, like, 20 times. I'm not even joking. So yeah, I've got the list right here because I forget right off the top of my head. So, as always, if you would like a Patreon request done, please hit the link below to my Patreon, hit the 4th tier, and I will try to get to it. I've got a lot of Patreon requests I need to get to. I'm only human. So, let's get... Now, full disclosure, I know Chris said, you know, when he did Top 30 Redheads is like, oh, it's got to be all females, right? I decided to, since this is a remake of something, I decided to do a quick change. It's basically... Now, for reference, this is not going to be like Top 30 Redheads or like it should be Top 30 Redhead waifus. It's more like Top 30 Redheads who are, regardless of gender, are cool. Like, awesome, I love to read, or other things. Shutting up. I'm joking. Anyway, so yeah, we're talking about Top 30 Redheads, and as always with any list, if you think a character should be higher or lower or not at all on the list, that's totally fine. No problem. It's a list. You know, it's just a personal opinion kind of list. So yeah, as always, just comment below. Let me know where you rank these characters. So let's get started with 30th place, Pen Zero from Pen Zero Part-Time Hero. I really enjoyed Pen as a character because he's kind of like almost like a toned-down Deadpool. In the sense that, like, he's fun, he's joking, but also, like, there's a bit of, like, trauma there that he's hiding from everybody, and I really destroy that person emotionally in every story I do. I emotionally destroy that character a lot. There's something wrong with me, I swear. But yeah, so Pen was, like, obviously when I did this list, I was like, I'm gonna put him here. Like, he's gonna be here, but... So starting off the list was kind of easy. Next up, again, I'm looking at the list right here because I forget. It's 30 fucking characters, Chris. Give me some slack. Anyway, so at number 29 we have Velocity from Cyberforce. I've always been a Cyberforce fan. I've actually been kind of like away from those comics for a while. Cyberforce is from Image Comics, specifically Top Cow, where they have like the Darkness and Witchblade and all that. And Velocity was a fun kind of like jokey character. Not jokey that she was dumb or anything, but more like she was fun, she had a lot of spirit to her, and she's super fast. Like, they actually, like... Here's the thing, like, they talk about, like, in some of the comics in Cyberforce, they would talk about, like, the science of running that fast. Like, she experiences a loss in one of the comics, and she's trying to keep herself from crying. Not because, like, oh, I gotta be tough, I'm a superhero. It's more like, no, if I cry at this speed and I'm running, the tears will be like bullets. So they will, if these tears start falling from my face, they're gonna kill somebody. So I have to, like, stop running and just fucking collapse on the ground and cry. So... I thought that, like, I like how they put in, like, the science is, like, when you're moving that speed, everything you do is dangerous. So, which is something they don't do a lot in Flash or, like, Quicksilver or anything. Anyway, so let's move on to number 28. Frankie Foster from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Don't fucking judge me. Yeah, that's the character I think we all remember the most from Foster's, for one reason or another, and she's just a lot of fun. Also, I don't subscribe to that theory that she was the word got away from it, an imaginary friend created by Madame Foster. I don't think that was the case. I think it, yeah. Anyway, I don't subscribe to that, but I do think she was a lot of fun as a character, and Great Alile is always fun to hear as a character. So yeah. Anyway, so there you go, number 28. Moving on to number 29, 27. Excuse me, 27. Jessica Rabbit. Don't you fucking judge me. I don't need to go into much detail of why Jessica Rabbit's on the list, right? I mean, I don't need to say it, so I'm not gonna. We're gonna move on. Moving on now to number 26, we're gonna move on to Fairchild from Gen 13. Fairchild was definitely a character. Like, Gen 13 is another indie comic from Image Comics. Well, not Image anymore. It's under Wildstorm. It went to DC now. Wildstorm was a thing, but now Wildstorm's not a thing. I don't know what's going on with any of the Wildstorm characters, is what I'm saying. But Fairchild was definitely a character I really enjoyed seeing. It was definitely part of that young era of superheroes. It was a lot of fun. Fairchild was this super strong woman who was also very intelligent. She was also the one who always, like, among the Gen 13 heroes, she was, like, the one that's like, I'm gonna fucking scream at any moment. And, like, that's a mood. Like, that's literally a mood every day for everybody, I think. So there you go, Fairchild. Moving on now to we've now hit the 25th spot, and that goes to Sam from Totally Spies. Sam was definitely, like, if I was to put, like, who would be my, like, now she may be in my favorite Redheads, but she's not my favorite of the Spies. If I have to say which one was my favorite of the Spies, it'd be Alex. That's just me. Don't lie, it was all, everyone liked Alex. Don't fucking lie. But Sam is definitely a lot of fun, and also, is anyone else, like, mind blown that this show's still going? Like, a season 7 is coming next year? Like, we could talk on and on about Totally Spies, right? Like, it probably awakens some things in people, right? You know what I mean. Go back and look at that show. Like, that was definitely fetish fuel. Oh my god. But I'm getting off topic. So Sam was definitely, she was intelligent, she was a great leader, and she also had, like, just this kind of survivalist skill to her. Also, you can't go wrong with a character voiced by Jennifer Hale. I'm just saying, like, you can't go wrong with a character voiced by the great Jennifer Hale. Anyway, so moving on now to 24, and the best way to describe our 24th spot is... That's right, Nigel Thornberry at the 24th spot. So obviously why Nigel is first off so high on the list is because the memes. The memes. Smashing! But not just outside of that. Nigel as a character is astonishing because, one, he's despite his, like, stupidity, like, you'd think would be stupidity, there's actually, like, a brilliance to it. He's actually, like, a great father to both of his children, and he's an excellent conservationist. And I think that's really fun that, you know, he's not written like your typical cartoon dad where, yes, he is kind of, like, dumb most of the time, but he's actually, like, the dude really, like, is attuned to what his family needs and what the wildlife need, what nature needs. And I think that's really cool. So I've always liked that about Nigel, is that he's just, like, obviously, of course, you know, it only got accentuated with the memes. I mean, that's the reason he's in the fucking Super Nicktoon All-Stars game, because of the memes. But yeah, for a cartoon dad, he's actually very, like, almost like he's, like, definitely A tier. Anyway, so there you go, number 24. So moving on to 23, we have Lena Inverse, if from Slayers. So if you've never seen Slayers, the best way to describe that anime is, imagine the Owl House if it was allowed to do stuff that Disney wasn't going to let them do regularly. Like, it's just basically Owl House Unbound. In fact, I would not be shocked, with so many anime references, I would not be shocked in any way, shape, or form if Slayers was a major inspiration for the Owl House. And the best way to describe Lena Inverse, is imagine Ida 10 years younger. That's the best way to describe Lena Inverse. She's this reckless pirate witch who is incredibly powerful, but is also more interested in money than magic. She's a ton of fun. I love the anime Slayers, and it would be remiss not to have her on this list in some capacity. So staying in anime, we at number 22 we have Edward from Cowboy Bebop. She's got red hair, so it kind of counts. It's my list, my rules, assholes. Anyway, Edward, just ton of fun. Also, same voice actress for Gaz. It still blows my mind that Melissa Fawn, voice actress for Gaz, is also Edward's VA. And she also did Broadway. I didn't know that. Also, yes, I know she also voiced Rika from Digimon. But I'm getting off topic. Edward is definitely a lot of fun. That I know they have like different, like sometimes they'll use she and other times they'll use they for the pronouns, but for sake of argument, I'm just going to go with she because they use that the most for the pronouns. So, she was definitely like this fun tech whiz who is just like, you didn't know where she came from, you don't know why she's here, and she's just kind of like just the character who is the just right amount of just adorable. Like, that's the thing, like, she's just the right amount of adorable, but also there's like you have this sense of like, if you piss her off, something would go horribly wrong. Anyway, so Edward is at number 22. At number 21, we have Red Sonja. So Red Sonja, of course, is a character from the Conan universe who's kind of taken off on her own, now at Dynamite. Red Sonja is an awesome, badass barbarian bitch who just literally kills everything in sight. It's almost like, in a weird way, the weird thing... Actually, no, I take that back. It's not weird at all. Red Sonja has basically become the face, alongside Vampirella, the Superman and Batman of Dynamite. Like, those are the two they really clatch onto. But Red Sonja is kind of like the face of Dynamite, in a way, which I don't blame them. And they've really had a lot of success with those stories, and she's gone from the future to space, she's fought Martians from Mars attacks, she's become a vampire, she's done everything. Like, Red Sonja has done everything you could imagine and still be just more than just people would think Red Sonja. You think, most people say, oh, it's Conan with boobs. And I'm like, there's a lot more to that character, I assure you. So, at number 21, we have Red Sonja. Now we come into the top 20s with our first character, who can be described with, ugh. That's Groundskeeper Willie. I had more to that, but I was like, I'm too tired. So Groundskeeper Willie from The Simpsons. Yep, Groundskeeper Willie. So how do I put this in perspective? Groundskeeper Willie is definitely one of my favorite Simpsons characters, the angry drunkard Scotsman who will kill everything in sight if need be. Groundskeeper Willie definitely has like some of the best quotes in the entire show. No matter how bad the seasons are in The Simpsons, like, it will still, like, Willie will still have the best lines if he's in the episode. Like, that's the thing. Like, no matter how bad the episode is, if Willie is in the episode, he gets the best lines. Don't feel bad, Poochie. I've been resting wolves since you were sucking on your mama's teat. Just like, again, stuff like, don't feel bad, Poochie. There's nary a creature alive who can outrun a grease Scotsman. That's my best Groundskeeper. I can do it better. It's just I just am too tired. Anyway, so yeah, Groundskeeper Willie. I know that one was going to throw off Chris. If you're watching this, which I know you are, if you've made it this far, I'm probably sure you've been thrown off multiple times, but that one really threw you off. So, moving on now to number 19, Batwoman, Kate Kane. Definitely a character I wanted in here. And it was, again, this really proves that this list was really hard to make because there were just some characters I enjoyed more than others. And again, if you think a character should be higher or lower on the list, that's totally fine. But yeah, this was definitely a character I wanted on the list. Kate is definitely been a very breakout character for DC Comics, obviously with having her own TV show with varying degrees of success. We're not here to talk about that. But definitely in the comics, she's definitely been a character who's been latched onto as a character who has been a very breakout. Batwoman has been around since the golden age of comics, but it really was a character who has recently been championed and definitely been a major talking point for a lot of people in a lot of good light. A lot of bad light, but fuck them neckbeards. So yeah. I mean, there's a lot. I could go further in detail with Kate Kane, but like, there's really nothing I can say about the character that hasn't been already said already. And I love seeing that character show up. She's a lot of fun. Anyway, moving on now to number 18, we have Blossom from Powerpuff Girls. So Blossom is definitely, like, it's kind of like with Totally Spies, where she's on this list because she's one of my favorite redheads, but not my favorite Powerpuff Girl. That's Bubbles. Yeah, I like Bubbles. Shut up. Anyway, so Blossom is definitely a lot of fun. Like, this brilliant mind to her, but she's also like hindered by her own like vanity. It's a nice little duality. She also makes a great leader and definitely has like the one who's like, I'm so done with this shit most of the time with dealing with her sisters, but she's a lot of fun. She's just a fun character, and I knew I was going to put a Powerpuff Girl on here the moment I got a chance to, so yeah. So, number 17. Did you not think he was not going to show up on this list for Redheads? Did you think he wasn't going to show up? That's right, Grell Sutcliffe from Black Butler. Of course, you think I wouldn't mention him the many a times I've talked about this character and Black Butler on this channel? You think he wasn't going to show up? So Grell is just a character. He is certainly something else. Grell is he is both anti-hero and he was also Jack the Frickin' Ripper. Like, how do you describe Grell? That's what we've all tried to wonder, is how do you solve a problem like Sutcliffe, really? Because Grell, also fun fact, his last name is in reference to the London Ripper. The Ripper in the 70s, a serial killer in London in the 70s, or wasn't London? It was, I think, Brighton. Can't remember, but there's a whole Netflix show on it. He also, fun fact, died of COVID in 2020. So, fuck you, scumbag. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Grell is he's fun. He's dangerous. He's also like, how was I not gonna like be like, for some reason I grab it, like, he's just so out there as a character, and so like both hilarious. Like, it's kind of like with Groundskeeper Willie, where he gets all the best lines. If he's in the episode, he gets all the best lines. I think that's the best way to describe it. And also, he gets the best stuff to do. Also, it's fun to see him get smacked around. It's hilarious. Anyway, so at number 17 we have Grell. At number 16 we have Scarlet from G.I. Joe. This was a character that was going to be on this list in one way or another. Scarlet is definitely when you think G.I. Joe, Scarlet is usually one of the first characters that come to your mind, along with Duke and Snake Eyes, especially. Like, usually you think Snake Eyes and Duke, but then usually the next one that comes to your mind is Scarlet. She is one of the three faces of G.I. Joe. Intelligent, brutal. When I say she's probably one of the most brutal characters on the G.I. Joe side. Everyone thinks like, oh, she needs help, she's a damsel in distress. I'm like, no, she will flatline you in a heartbeat. The moment, you better be quick on the draw, because she's quick with that crossbow. Scarlet is also, like, she's literally the heart and soul. Like, she runs everything in G.I. Joe. Like, she's a powerful leader, she's resourceful, and she's got like this heart to her. She has this heart and soul to her. Like, obviously she married Snake Eyes, and you know that's got to have, if your husband don't talk to you for a whole lifetime, that's got to be some major patience to you. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Scarlet, again, she was a character, she was going to be on this list one way or another. So moving on, we have another character that was going to be on this list one way or another. And that is, at number 15, we have Kim Possible. Yeah, did you not think Kim was not going to be on this list? She's very much like a younger Scarlet. Like, she's very much like Scarlet Year One, where there is, like, a lot of kindness. She's also very much feminine, and she can be a badass. She really walks that line perfectly. She's definitely a character that really heralded like that era of Disney that was going to have like these great animated shows. Like, you can look back at like, oh, it was Gravity Falls that heralded all these great shows. I'm like, go a little further back. Like, go back to 2007. Kim was definitely there, because so we talk about Gravity Falls a lot and how its impact culturally. Kim, on the other hand, she got a whole fucking thing at Epcot. Like, she had a whole like, did Gravity Falls ever get anything at Disneyland? That's when you know you've made it as a character. When you've made it into the parks. And there's like, it didn't get a ride. It was more like it was like a mobile game, like an early mobile game. There's a whole history on it on you can find it on YouTube. But yeah, so anyway. But Kim, it's another character I don't think I need to say much on, really. Anyway, moving on to number 14, and that is none other than Mera, the Queen of Atlantis herself. She's powerful, she's gorgeous, she's also literally will stab you. Like, she wakes up, like, I'm convinced Mera just wakes up and chooses violence every day. Like, her first thought whenever she wakes up from a long nap or a sleep is, I wish a motherfucker would. Literally, a honey badger is Mera's spirit animal. She may be from the sea, but it's a honey badger. Mera is definitely like both a mother, a queen, a warrior. She's all of that, and she is probably, like, if anything happens to Aquaman, everyone just goes to Mera. Like, oh, Aquaman's out of commission? That's fine. Mera. And I'm glad they use her more and more. I'm really glad they're using this character more and more in DC continuity. Sometimes even more than Aquaman. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, that's really cool. So, anyway. So, again, it's another character I don't think I need to say much on with Mera. So, moving on now to unlucky we were number 14. I lost my place. So, an unlucky number 13, or should I say lucky 13, for this character is Reyes Gremory from High School DxD. First off, don't judge me. If you've seen the anime, don't judge me. Or if you at least know the anime, don't fucking judge me. Reyes is a lot of fun. And she's kind, but there's a violence to her. There's this like, I will drop you no problem kind of character. And yeah, Issei kind of takes the cake because he is the main protagonist, but Reyes is like the guide. She's definitely like, yeah, I will drop you no problem. So, anyway. I feel like I'm gonna, if I say more, I'm gonna say something that's gonna be like, But, anyway, like I said, if you know High School DxD, don't judge me. Anyway, at number 12, we have Guy Gardner. Y'all, I'm gonna say a really hot take here. Guy's my favorite Lantern. No lie, like, Guy Gardner is my favorite Lantern. Like, okay, if I was to do rankings real quick of lanterns, it'd be Guy, Jon Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Hal Jordan, Simon Baz, Jessica Cruz. And keep in mind, I do like all of the Earth Lanterns. I'm not counting Alan Scott because he's technically not... He is called the Green Lantern, but his power doesn't come from the power battery. It comes from the Starheart. And keep in mind, I like all of the Lanterns, really. I like all of them. But like, if I was to rank them from favorite to least favorite, Guy's definitely at the top. Guy is literally... Like, what I love most about Guy is that he's the most everyman. Like, everyone says, oh, Hal Jordan's the everyman, or Jon Stewart is the everyman. I'm like, no. Guy Gardner is the everyman in that he's this blue-collar guy who is this total... who's an asshole, but, like, he's defensive about it. And also, a lot of people don't know this, Guy suffers from multiple concussions that led to multiple personality disorder. And it's like and originally now it was used as a joke in early DC Comics and that's not cool, but keep in mind it was like when we were still studying mental illness in that era, but now it's been treated more, and I think they've gotten rid of it, sadly. But Guy is definitely the guy who is cool. Guy is the guy. I just made my own joke there. But Guy is definitely a character who will question authority first. He will, whether it be the Guardians or the Justice League, even if he gets one punch by Batman for it. But he is someone who will die for his friends. Like, Guy will literally throw himself again and again into harm's way to protect those he cares about, whether they be like from the Justice League or from, the Green Lantern Corps. He's dedicated, but he knows we're not soldiers. We're not like gears in a machine to get grinded. We're people. And I think a lot of people forget that. Like, oh yeah, Guy Gardner, he's such an asshole, haha. But it's like there's like more to that. Like, there's so much more to Guy Gardner. So, yeah, I know it's a really hot take, but Guy Gardner is my favorite Lantern. Anyway. Also, I really like his costume. I dig the jacket. I think it works. Fucking sue me. Anyway, so, moving on to number 11, Kenshin Himura from Ronin Kenshin. Do I really need to say anything about Kenshin? One of the most badass samurai, if not the most badass samurai character in all of anime. Yes, the creator was arrested recently for really horrendous things, which we're not going to get into here. But the character, I think the character at this point has transcended the creator. And it's a character who, he's not just badass, but there's like a heart there, and there's pain there. There is, there's like a wisdom to him, and it shows like throughout his age as like the manslayer no more. He is a character who is like, he's like the soldier who has gone through war, and now he's dealing with those demons, and it's done in a way that's almost like you could compare it to a soldier dealing with PTSD. So yeah, Kenshin was gonna be on this list, but there were just 10 other characters I felt like, this was a tough list. That's why it took so long to make this, Chris. So yeah, Kenshin at number 11. And at number 10, you knew she was going to show up at some point. You knew she was going to show up in this list at one point or another. And the moment I was making this list, I was like, okay, she's got to be here. And that's Wendy from Gravity Falls. Wendy is definitely a character who is both the tough girl and she's literally the perfect embodiment of a millennial a millennial from this era. Like, some people try really hard to write these characters. Thank God Alex knows how to write a fucking character. Alex Hirsch and his crew knew how to write this fucking character. And Wendy's not just, Dipper's one true love. Just one dip for life. Just saying. She's also this badass survivalist who will take down demons with no experience. She's literally like a killer underneath that teenage dirtbag. Kudos if you got that reference. exterior, there is a heart of a monster in her that will kill everything that will take. She will kill anything that hurts anything she loves. So of course Wendy was going to be on this list. So moving on to number 9, we have Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy, when you think Batman villains, she usually comes up very high on the list. Poison Ivy has been a character who has both been hero, villain, and in between, and Harley's one true love. Let's be real. Let's be real on that regard. Ivy is beauty. She's literally the rose with thorns. Like, that's the best way to describe her. She's brutality, she's beauty, and definitely a character you just don't want to mess with. Again, it's another character I don't think I need to say more on. So moving on to number 8, Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff. Again, once a character in obscurity, but thanks to the MCU, she's now been a major echelon in the Marvel Universe. Natasha is, again, it's kind of like with Ivy, where you don't need to say much with this character to know that she is this badass bitch who will drop you no problem. Like, she can just, like, one hand tied behind her back, she'll just kill you. Again, it's a character I don't think I need to say more on. So moving on to number 7, we have Starfire. She kind of counts because of the red hair, so it's my list, my rules. So Starfire, from, again, DC Comics, Starfire is, when you think Teen Titans, Starfire is going to come to your mind, whether it be from the cartoon or the comic books. I've always said that, like, the reason why I got so deep into comics was because of the Teen Titans cartoon. And now, you can't deny, like, everything George Perez and Marv Wolfman did for those characters and for DC Comics and animation in general. Starfire is, again, like, I don't care, like, to quote Linkara, Dick Grayson and Starfire, I wish those crazy kids could figure it out one day. What about Barbara Gordon? What about Barbara Gordon? Anyway, so, Starfire, imagine Red Sonja in space, which they've kind of done in Dynamite, but that's beside the point. She is one of the hearts of the Teen Titans. She was leader of the Teen Titans, and she's powerful. She's an underrated powerhouse. I've seen her throw down with Superman at times. She's, like, again, it's another character I don't think I need to say more on. So moving on to number 6, Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho. Kurama was another character that I was going to have on this list one way or another. Kurama is a master strategist. He's dangerous, but there's, like, a kindness to him. He's definitely the heart of Yu Yu Hakusho. And is definitely a character you just don't want to fuck with. A list of characters in Yu Yu Hakusho you don't want to fuck with, Kurama's, like, in the top 5. But that's literally the whole team. Like, they will smoke you no problem. So, moving on to number 4, speaking of Barbara Gordon, we have Barbara Gordon Batgirl. When you think the Bat family, whether she be Oracle or Batgirl, Barbara Gordon is one of those tentpoles of the Bat family. Coming over that trauma from being shot by Joker, becoming Oracle, and the network for the entire DC universe at one point. Barbara going back to being Batgirl after overcoming that trauma. Leading the Birds of Prey, forming the Birds of Prey to begin with, and is definitely a character who will just be around for as long as we exist. She is amazing, and while I prefer Nightwing with Starfire, I can't deny Batgirl's just badass. That's how badass Batgirl is. That's how badass Babs is. She don't need no man. Anyway, so that was number 5. At number 4, we have Jean Grey. So Jean, one of the founding members of the X-Men, one of the most powerful telepath and telekinetic, bearer of the Phoenix Force, one true love of Scott Summers. and to an extent Wolverine. She is definitely, when you think Redheads in comics, of course Jean Grey is going to show up with another character who we're going to get to. We're going to get to very soon. But yeah, so Jean, Jean, I don't think I need to say more on her. We know how awesome she is as a character. Moving on, so let's move on to number 3. At number 3, Wally West, the real Flash. I don't care what anyone says, it's Wally West. What about Barry Allen? What about Barry Allen? Wally is a character we've all grown up with. Like, my entire generation grew up with Wally West, whether in the cartoon or in the comics. Wally is the Flash for a multitude of reasons. And that character we will fight for throughout the entire DC universe, for the entire DC comic continuity. No matter how many times they screw over Wally West, we will always be there. He's a family man. He is a man who has dealt with so much trauma. He is a character that should get more respect from DC Comics, but they continuously shit on him. It's the same thing with Nightwing for some reason. Yeah, it's weird, and I hate it. So again, Wally West is a character I don't think I need to say more on. So let's move on to the top. So number 2, Mary Jane. Yeah, Mary Jane Watson. You may be shocked by that because you all thought, oh, Mary Jane's number 1. Nope, someone else got that title. Mary Jane, the one true love of Spider-Man. You should read her miniseries. I think it was turned into an ongoing even, where she and Mysterio teamed up and became friends. It's amazing. Like the Amazing Mary Jane. I've read some of that online. I'd like to get the trades of it. I'd like to collect the trades of it, but like my friend Tori GNR1 told me you have to read the whole comic because it's literally Mary Jane befriends Mysterio, and the two of them become best friends. It's amazing. She is everything Peter needs in his life. She is also more than capable of protecting herself. She is beauty, grace, brains, and the one, like I said, one true love of Spider-Man. What more can I say? So now you're probably thinking, okay, Multi, there's no way. Who could top Mary Jane as the top redhead in your list? Yeah, you're going to be shocked, but it's Washu from Tenchi Muyo. Washu is literally a fucking goddess and the most intelligent being in the universe. She is intelligent. She's beyond intelligent. That's not even a word to best describe her. She is a mother. She's literally the matriarch of, no matter what anyone says, Washu's the matriarch of the Tenchi Muyo group. She's actually like an actual fucking goddess. She's literally like Elder of the Universe status. That's how, when you know your character's a badass, when they know they're a god but don't need to smoke you for any reason. That's how powerful she is. Washu is also like, she recognizes how old she is and will Washu recognizes how old she is, but like she knows that she has this like child complex that she pretends to be a child because she refuses to grow up because she kind of knows I'm getting on in years, and there's something like endearing about that. So yeah, so Washu is my number 1 redhead. I know that's probably shocks a lot of people. So yeah, so there you go, guys. That is pretty much my list. That's pretty much my top 30 redheads. You can see why I kind of like had a lot of trouble, Chris. If you're still watching it by this point, you can probably see why this list took so damn long, because there was a lot of changes. There were so many characters. There were even some characters I was like, I just can't put it there. I just cannot for the life of me put that character there. So I was like, damn it. So, yeah, if you think a character should be higher or lower on the list, that's totally fine. No ill will against you. Chris, hope you're still watching this by this point. Hey, thank you for the request. I know this was probably one of my longest videos to get through. But yeah, if you would like a video done, a Patreon, just hit the link below to my Patreon, and hit the 4th tier. Not only will you be able to send me requests for videos to do here on YouTube, but also you'll get exclusive content over on Patreon as well. So yeah, so you guys tell me in the comments below, who are your top 30, well, if you want to just make the list shorter, top 10 redheads if you want. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse. Holy shit, this took forever.